I'm glad we're going to be catching up on Big Brother 25. We just finished the second episode of the season. And although we will not be sitting here and recapping every single episode that we have this season, we will be catching up just since we have the live feed action, the craziness of having 17 house guests. Because when I tell you it feels like there are 17 house guests in the house watching the live feeds, it really feels like there are 17 house guests in the house while watching the live feeds. And so we're going to do our best to puzzle together this entirety of the game where we have multiverses crashing together and Cameron's glitching back into the house and ruining Felicia's intros. And we're going to catch up on everything, not only tonight's episode, but HOH, NOMS, Veto spoilers later on in the podcast. So, spoiler alert beforehand. And then everything that we need to talk about, all our funny clips that we've loved so far from all of these house guests, because there are plenty. And then, of course, the scheming that Riley hates that's going on. We'll talk all about that as well. But to help me catch everyone up on Big Brother 25, because I could not do it myself. I know I filibustered a little bit at the beginning of our first podcast of the season, but I could not do this by myself because I don't know everything. I'm not omnipotent by any means. So that's why I brought along two people that are going to help me out in this process. And also, everyone that's in the chat is going to help us out as well. We are live. The chat is open. Feel free to send any questions, any comments, concerns even. Can all be typed away in there. But joining me tonight, we have the Nick City and the Zach Perez. I feel lacking in my these that I have in my own name. But Nick, Zach, thanks for being here. I know I put Roxy's face on the thumbnail. We might have Roxy at some point. If we don't, I'm so sorry. For those who are here only for Roxy, she'll send an apology in the mail or the chat. But Nick, I'm gonna come to you first because you weren't here for the premiere. So I'm just gonna ask you, what do you think of the season so far? Now that we have gone a few days into it,
a lot, I guess is the word. There's just been like a lot. So it's funny because to me the season kind of just like crept up on me. I was like, like the summer's almost over, and then like Big Brother, and it's just very like weird. And we didn't have much preseason, and then it was just like the day of. I remember everybody being like, "Oh my God, Cerie's coming on! Cerie's coming on!" And I was like, "What is like going the fuck on?" And then at the premiere party, when Cerie's like face came on, or well, the scene when it flashed to Cerie like standing in the kitchen, the bar acted like somebody just won the motherfucking Super Bowl. Like people were like screaming like they just won the $1 million. I mean, I was one of them, but like it was a big moment. And yeah, I'm like very excited for her and like very like happy about all that. But like there's so many damn people in the house, and like there's a lot going on. I could not follow the premiere while I was there, so I had to go home and rewatch it just because like there was so much going on. And like, yeah, just a lot is my word to describe this season.
all right. That'll not be the last time I ask you about your premiere party that you went to. We'll make sure we get to talk all about it before you have to make your grand exit later on in this podcast. But Zach, I'm gonna go to you now. You were here for the premiere podcast, and now you have gotten to watch all of these house guests since the premiere run amok in this house, and that might be a light way of putting it with how many things that we have to keep up with. So catch us up a little bit. How have your opinions changed, if at all, really, from seeing these house guests in the premiere versus how you see them now a few days into the game?
So I thought that Red was going to be annoying. He's not that bad. He's kind of funny, I guess. If you like he's like out there kind of. And then I thought I was really going to like Izzy, and I did for like an hour, and then I realized how messy she is and how we'll get into it, how terrible she is for someone's game. And everyone else was kind of I mean, most of the opening is like the days of feeds are like conversations, oh, tell me about this, and there's people are like, it's too soon to be gaming, it's too soon for that. And I'm like, noms are literally coming up. Like, what do you mean it's too soon?
We've already got noms. We've got 4 of them up there.
Yeah, we got 4 noms. Like, come on. Yes, Eli, Izzy is way too Izzy. She needs to chill out. She's like Izzy from Total Drama Island, if y'all know who that
Yes,
is.
I get the reference.
Yeah, but I mean, the cast is giving something, and it's not
They
bad.
are.
It's not bad.
Well,
It's
as
not
Eli would
like,
also say, I think the cast is given crack.
yeah,
According to Eli in the chat.
They are.
I
It's
agree.
good crack. Like it's good.
yeah.
It's been fun feeds so far. Like
It's none of that lame crack. It's that good crack.
no,
You
it's
know?
the good shit. Like
It's not as bad as Frenchie's first week. HOH crack. It's not like that week, and it's not like toxic like last year's. So
Yeah.
it's a good healthy middle, which I
Yes,
don't mind.
we do have a target this week in Kirsten who actually did kind of spiral or play a little bit too hard at the beginning of the week. I think spiral is a little bit dramatic. And I don't think that episode did a good job of showing that tonight. I know we talked a little bit about that before we started. Because it showed her forming the Phalanx 5, or I think they changed the name to the Flaccid 5. I think that's right. It's very awkward,
oh
but
no.
yeah. And then she also theorized a lot of guys' alliances that they didn't really show in tonight's episode, which also kind of added to that. But I mean, yeah, you're right, Zach. It's nowhere near the first week that we had to go through last year. But also, I think people did the same kind of thing where they took a little bit of theorizing of things that weren't exactly true and blew it up, because that's what you do. You got to have someone go home first, and you don't want it to be you. So of course Felicia is going to go up there and be like, "Yeah, Kirsten's got to go." Obviously, she's the messiest person I've ever seen in any season ever of Big Brother. And Cerie's like, "I agree. We got to get her out of here." And then of course, we have Riley up there in the HOH room who's like, "I want to start this game with integrity and honesty, and I want to set the tone." You know what every Big Brother fan wants to hear in the HOH.
Is she Nicole's sister or something, or cousin?
Which
Nicole, Nicole,
There's a lot of
39-year-old
Nicoles
female.
now.
I'm 30. I'm a 39-year-old woman.
Oh, not Nicole.
I think I don't remember how old she was. She said it
I
like
was say, was she 39? I don't even remember.
41. I don't know. Chat me out.
I guess both good answers. Thank you both for answering my questions. That means a lot to me. But let's give like an all-encompassing catch-up real quick, minus Veto spoilers. We'll do that a little bit later. So we have Riley as the HOH, as we saw tonight. We had the 4 nominees on the block, which were Jared, Corey, Felicia, and Kirsten. With Riley as the HOH, she takes down 2 nominees, as people kind of theorized once she was the HOH in the first place. She takes down Jared and Corey, leaving Felicia and Kirsten up on the block. And that's kind of where we're at the end of this episode. Now we can kind of get into everything that this episode entailed, which had some really interesting points. Nick, we saw Izzy we finally got that answer of how Izzy kind of got Jared in that hallway at the end of the episode, and they were doing their little pinky promise. But what did you think about the way Izzy immediately approached Jared? Because to me, I saw Izzy go up there and talk way louder than she should have and be like, "I knew you were. I know who you are. I know you are. You're Cerie's son. You're Cerie's son, Jared. Bowie's right here looking at you."
She literally might as well have taken like a megaphone and said, "This is Cerie and her son," like just so everybody in the house is aware. It was like, girl, chill. Like, why? Chill out. Like, it was like, I get it, because like I would have reacted the same way if I walked into the house and saw Cerie. But like, damn, girl, relax. Like, it was. I'm not a fan of Izzy so far, and mainly because I feel like she's gonna be the downfall to either Cerie or Jared, and like they're who I'm obviously rooting for. And the fact that she was like immediately like no, like she started off as a no for me. So
do you agree with Nick on your opinion of Izzy so far? Zach?
Oh, okay.
You're the only other person here. Sorry.
You're the only one up here.
I thought you were talking to the chat. I was like, I mean,
yeah. Yes, also the chat. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, I agree. I really had hope for Izzy. I mean, she wasn't too much in like the first episode. Like she was just like the right amount. I could tell I thought she was gonna be like the diary room screamer. And yeah. which I thought Red was going to be too, which I'm surprised he's not, honestly. But yeah, not a very, very sad. I thought she was going to at least make like jury or something. I could see her being the last pre-merge boot.
Pre-merge.
They're
yeah.
This isn't Survivor, but okay.
when we merge all the multiverses of the Humiliverse, the Comic-verse, and I don't even remember the other ones.
It would be the BBCU.
Please
Oh
stop.
yeah, I see that. I see what you're doing there. Okay, Jameson does not disagree. Jameson says Izzy's doing too much. My mother said she Izzy'd. I don't know how I feel about that as a verb.
Also,
our resident pharmacist Brett Bailey says, "Oh, I thought Izzy was too much from the first time she was on screen." I like all the opinions. I'm so sorry, future Izzy, if you're watching this.
also,
You're probably not. I doubt you are.
Also, Jameson, I think BB11's actually a decent season, honestly.
Oh yes, Jameson asked, could this season have potential to be
BB11
better than BB11 and BB19? I don't know if it could be better than
BB11 is
BB19.
Top tier. Let me just say that was my
It's a-
first season.
It's a hot mess express, and it's good for that reason.
It is. Watching it live too was like, and that being my first season, like watching like Shima throw drinks in Ronnie's face, like I that was crazy. Like that season was crazy. We need fights like that. But anyways.
Oh my god!
All right, so I'm gonna play the clip of Izzy approaching Jared for the first time. Hopefully it gets to it
boy.
before I get flagged by YouTube.
Jared is her son because I stalk her social media all the time.
Yeah, come here, we gotta
Are you
stay.
kidding? Let me tell you. No, let me tell you. No,
Oh, I went too far.
exactly. Who
I'm not telling them.
Or maybe not.
is that Serene?
Okay, here we
Come
go.
here, Jared.
I knew it. You're Serene Field's son, aren't you?
Listen, come here.
Bowie's looking right at them.
Oh my god!
Girl, you couldn't wait 5 damn minutes. 5 minutes. Like it was like immediately.
Jared, come here.
You know, obviously I haven't been in a Big Brother house, but I could hear that. I could, if I heard that a chirp, I would be like, oh, it's done, it's over, and I would have shoved her out of the door so fast.
Jared, you are Sari Field's son, aren't you?
Like,
God, it might as well just broadcast it over the
chill
speakers at that point.
That's what I mean. Like, chill out. Why'd she have to do it like immediately? That's what like they were all right there. You couldn't wait
Yeah.
until like y'all like went into like the bathroom or some crap. Like
You have
damn.
100 days. 100 days to do this, Izzy. I don't know if like she wanted to be the first to go up and just be like, maybe she thought that there was another
She
Sari
still
super fan who
would've
figured
been
this out.
first. Like
I don't know. I do love. I'm just gonna say this now. The Sari Jared dynamic is the season so far for me. I
Yeah, me too.
cannot describe how interesting I think that it is, and I know it may be a bit hypocritical for me to say that when I'm like, why do we bring back returning players? Why do we bring back all these people that others are just going to be like gravitated towards and just try to carry to the end? But this is a little bit different. One, because Cerise never played Big Brother. Two, it's the dynamic of her having her own son in the game just makes her more of a more unique player already. She's having another just threshold to try to conquer, and I think that
Yeah.
that's so cool, and I think she's playing it off in a really interesting way. And we're getting to see Sari, who I haven't really watched a lot of. I haven't seen any of her Survivor seasons besides Heroes versus Villains, and she wasn't even on, but for I don't
oh
know,
my
a few episodes.
God,
Excuse me?
get out of here. Like
All right, I'll see you.
You've never seen
Have fun.
Micronesia?
what a loser.
I know.
He's never seen Exile Island.
Oh my god. Not a fan.
Yeah, I haven't seen him. I'll stay, I promise. But no, it's really fun to watch her because she is doing, I think, a phenomenal job at just making people feel like they should trust her, which we saw a little bit of Corey tonight be like, I'm going to beat Sari Fields. I know exactly how she's going to play, and that's exactly how she is playing so far. But for most people, I think she's doing a solid job at kind of mixing herself in. Could that change in a week? Absolutely. But her having to play her own game while simultaneously giving Jared notes of just like, you got to clean that up. You know, you said this thing before you left the room.
So
You shouldn't be
good.
saying that. You don't have to check in with me every time you know.
So
But
good.
I really love that she's in this game and genuinely loves being there. We saw her get emotional in the diary room tonight, just of how cool she thinks it is that she's here with her son, who she called her best friend. And is like, I'm playing this game with my best friend. I thought that was a really cool element. And it's going to be even better when all of these house guests find out that they who they are. I can't wait for
It's
that
Holly.
payoff.
It's Holly.
It's Holly. That's right. Cowboy's sitting there at home right now saying it's Holly.
This twist is how BB6 should have gone, because this is a twist. I think that one of you has said it. I believe that they should bring back Secret, Summer of Secrets, or is that what's BB6
Summer
called?
of Steve, yeah.
Oh yeah, the Secret Duos twist. I believe that that's a good twist that you can bring back. And I mean, obviously, BB6 is one top tier of all time, and they're doing it in this, and it's being executed flawlessly. I mean, just because you bring back someone like Sari, of course she's gonna try to do the best she can.
On top of all of this with Sari and Jared, I think it's so cool. I hope y'all feel this way too. When we're watching the live feeds, and there are people actively talking about Jared to Sari, like how they feel about him, and she's having to like talk about him as if she's not his mother. I just think that's so cool. I can't remember. I think she was talking to Riley at one point about Jared, and she was having to be like, or what was the quote exactly that you sent in, Zach? Or just like, I would definitely.
Yeah.
What was it?
I would tell my kids to hang out with that kid.
Yes. And then I just loved how quickly they had to think about like where they were, like when she gave her intro on the couch, or just like making sure that she didn't say Jared's name and the mix of her kids' names and stuff like that. And then probably them having to coordinate where they're from has to be a tad bit different. I just love all the little things that they're having to do to keep the entire thing a secret. Eli says, my favorite moment of that was yesterday when Corey describing what Siri was to Jared. It was great. Oh, yeah. Okay, where do we want to move on? I don't want to spend the whole time talking about Sari and Jared, even though I know we probably could. I mean, I put them on the thumbnail. I got to talk about them a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, we can talk about how they misused your favorite live competition tonight.
Yeah, the HOH comp they did tonight was the one that we usually get to see live on Thursdays. We have our like death to Derek X HOH comp is what I think of it as, when Sarah Beth won in 23 with Derek X losing to her by milliseconds, if that, and then immediately going out of the house. So we bring back that comp. We see Riley win with 16 seconds, not too shabby. I don't know what really to say. Oh, I put in my notes, I did kind of laugh at Corey's narration at some points. I thought it was so stupid that I ended up laughing a little bit too much at it. Especially the Matt line. I mean, an expert in the water, but trash on land. I mean, come on, that was good.
That was a good one. That was real good, I will say.
The rest are like, okay. Like,
what do you guys like? Do you guys like Corey?
I want to like him. Don't get me wrong. It's because his brother's Survivor player, and his brother is hilarious on Twitter. Just because of his self-deprecation and everything. But I mean, I
liked him. Yeah. I don't know. I liked him preseason, and now I'm kind of like,
I like him in doses because I know that he's going to be the go-to. He's probably going to have, if he stays long enough, he's probably going to have the most diary rooms. Like, just because they were like, say this or do this.
Right. Yeah. Like he's really good at like doing that like cheesy crap that like they love. So like definitely. I just feel like he's so like random, and like the like the first boot of Survivor's brother is like on Big Brother. Like it's just very like random to me that he's on here.
He's like an NPC that shouldn't have made it on Big Brother, and now he's on.
Yes, that's like really like exactly what I'm trying to say in a weird way.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like if I was in the house, I would be so suspicious of Corey all the time, while simultaneously not taking him seriously ever. I don't know, uh, because he's just so goofy and scared all the time, but also is such a gamer that it's weirdly terrifying and wholesome at the same time. Um, but I did genuinely feel bad that he did not get to socialize with anyone for like the first, I don't even know how long before they finally put him in the game.
I thought it
And we
was
can
like
talk about that whole nether region and how that's going to come back next week. Well, who knows what the foreshadowing was there that they made Corey do, which interrupted Felicia's intro about herself, I might add. You don't interrupt Felicia's intro.
No.
You don't ever interrupt Felicia, period. Much less her telling the house guests for the first time who she is. She's Felicia.
you know what's also funny is the fact that they did that and he felt like the 17th house guest instead of Suri.
True. Yeah, imagine walking into the
Really?
house for the first time finally, and then looking around the room and seeing Cerie Fields, of all people, also sitting on the couch with no other context
Yeah.
as to how that happened.
And your brother's a Survivor alum.
Yes.
Like, I would literally be like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
And then his brother tweeted that imagine if Julie says in order to reveal the twist is like someone has been playing with you and is related to a Survivor legend.
I saw this.
And then Corey stands up.
A legend. Yeah. Sorry, Zach. Other Zach, not you, Zach.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The Wurtenberger. I can't remember. They horribly mispronounced Corey's name on the live feeds today. I can't remember what they said. I think they said like Worthington or something like that. And it was just no, not even close, really. Kind of like the Heisem talk that Jared and Suri had when they finally got to talk on the couch in this episode. The little Hyman scene. Yeah, that was fun. Anyway, where do we want to move on next in this episode? We covered a little. We didn't really talk about HOH. I'm not going to go through a deep dive. If you watch the episode, you know the competition. If you know Big Brother, you just got to run along the bars. And Riley did it the fastest. I didn't really think there was anything else noteworthy about the competition or this part of the episode, unless y'all have opinions about it.
I will just say that this is coming. I don't think I could have won it. I feel like I could have beaten at least. I could have beaten that 50-second mark just by going the long route, which I feel like it should have had more obstacles or something because it looked so easy because Riley did it like that fast. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but Barrett's like 7'5", so he could have just done 2 steps and made it there. And
He
like,
literally could have just like walked across
Yeah.
it. Like,
Yeah.
he
Yeah,
would've just,
Nick
like,
has now
literally
seen me in
taken a step.
person. He can confirm this, that I am 7.5 feet tall.
It was kind of scary in person.
Yeah, Nick ran away. I never actually got to talk to him.
he started talking to the Empire State Building, and he was like, "Oh no, I thought you were Barrett."
Sorry. So we don't have to move. We can move on from the HOH competition. But let's see. We got Serena in the house. We showed Izzy talking to Jared super loudly. We got to see a little bit of we got to see the first time Izzy told Sari that she knew that they were mother and son in the storage room. That was pretty cool. Because we had the little moment where Jared walked into the storage room and called her mom in front of Izzy, and Sari had a moment where she was like, "Did we already blow this like within the first hour?" But
What the fuck did you just say?
Internally she was screaming like.
do you think Izzy would be playing the same way if she didn't already have this connection between Sari and Jared, or do you think she'd be more low key, or do you think like having this information gave her the freedom to play a little bit harder, or what do you think? What do you think's up?
Maybe a little bit of both. I feel like I feel like she's just gonna like sheep Sari and Jared, honestly, and like that's like kind of like what I see happening with Izzy. But like if they weren't there, I feel like Izzy is just like okay, this is gonna sound rude, but I don't mean it like that. But Izzy's like the furniture of the season, like how Twitter likes
Ooh.
to say, like the person who's always just there. That's how I kind of see Izzy. If like, cause think about it, like take Sari and Jared out of the equation.
They're gone. Yeah.
Like, what is Izzy?
She's hanging out with Felicia, maybe, but even
Like,
Felicia,
right, like,
I don't think would care
Like,
to
who
hang
is
out with
she
Izzy that
hanging
much.
out with if Sari and Jared aren't there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then she would just be like, she would be like the other people kind of, and just like get knocked off like in jury stage randomly because they're like, oh, we'll just take her out because it's easy.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
the way I view her is the same way, even though I kind of like Brittany from last season more. I kind of view her like that because if you take Michael out of the equation for Brittany, then what does Brittany
She
do?
wins the season.
Okay, calm down.
Girl, relax.
I know.
She
I know
probably-
what you mean. I
yeah.
think that's a good comparison.
Yeah. So, yeah, I feel like if they weren't on the season, Izzy would be Joey. She would go
Joey Van
home
Pelt?
first because she was
Recycling?
playing too
Boy.
fast.
Oh boy.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't think anyone can be Joey. That's a tall order over there.
I mean, if Izzy recycles, then she's Joey.
I know. One
The
can in the
liberal.
recycle bin. Yes. The sign of a liberal in 2014, I think. 10 years next year. Wow.
Yo,
That'll be strange. 10 years since
I
BB16. That
wanna-
doesn't
I
seem
do not want to think about that, please.
Oh my gosh, they're
That's
bringing Battle of
crazy.
the Block back this season. So
for the anniversary next year. They're gonna bring it back. It's gonna be great.
Don't. CBS is gonna listen to one episode and it's gonna be this. Thanks.
Okay. CBS, call Nick. Since Roxy's not here, you gotta call your second option, which is Nick.
Yeah, and I'll tell you to not fucking do Battle of the Block.
Okay. All right. So Cerie's number one goal is making sure Izzy trusts her. And I thought it was funny that, of course, of all the cast members to know your secrets, it's going to be Izzy, like the last person you probably want to know your secrets. Just the most energetic, in-your-face person that is in this cast. It's like, God, couldn't it have been like, I don't know. Actually, I don't know who I would have wanted to know my secrets. I don't trust any. And I guess if Izzy talks too much, I guess that could be a positive because then you know everything that she's thinking.
has
But
America been doing anything?
America has not done a single thing, and it's probably the only time we're going to mention America in this entire show because she's, I don't know. America's playing her own game, and it's not here yet, but it'll get here, I'm sure.
Well, that's
She's not
because
necessarily doing anything bad, and that's the important part.
That's what I was about to say. That's the good thing. Like we were just saying that they're all acting like crackheads.
Yeah,
and America is not.
Well,
So
that's because she's going to be the twist. She's gonna. I
Oh
forgot.
my god! Here we go. The fake identity thing.
Yeah, she has a fake identity whose name is America. And think about it like this. Okay, so in Marvel, there's this girl named America Chavez. If anyone has seen Multiverse of Madness, she's on that and she's able to break through. She's able to travel through different multiverses. So what if they named America for that? Because Big
Girl.
Brother is very like, oh my god, let's do this. And see, and then she's gonna reveal to the house, or there's gonna be like, it's time for America's vote. You're gonna vote for who America, since she won HOH, who is she gonna nominate for eviction?
Yeah. I see. I haven't done a deep dive into this entire America conspiracy, but the fact there is a red and blue and America in the house, and there has been a Team America in the past, is I'm surprised no one has really brought that up yet. I think that's crazy. I think it was Tiffany on Twitter who literally said the theories I would have come up with, knowing having all of those names at my disposal, which accurate. I think she would have. But yeah, America is not doing anything crazy, which is a benefit in some cases, especially now when America is safe for the week. She doesn't really have to do anything. The last thing that she needs to be doing, though, is be at the bottom of either large alliance that is formed in this house. And I think that should be our next thing that we talk about is the large alliances that have formed and the subset alliances that have formed, because those get pretty crazy when you look at an alliance chart. So anything else you want to say before we really get into a deep dive? This is obviously spoiler territory because this is beyond tonight's episode, but it'll help us frame our conversation for the rest of the podcast, I think. So, anything y'all want to say before we either go team Family Style or team Bye Bye Bitches?
I mean, I love a good split house. So
Hey,
we haven't gotten a true one since BB20.
a true one? Definitely not in
Right?
21. Definitely not in 22. Definitely not in 23. Not really in 23.
Not 23. And then
Um,
24 was, I mean, kind of, but not really, because the other side never really gained power.
yeah,
So,
I mean, once the leftovers formed, it was pretty dominant. But I mean, I think for that couple weeks when you had that turnover of Nicole and Daniel, that would
Oh,
be
yeah.
a good split house. Amira's eviction, especially. Maybe not so much Pooch's, but okay. Let me get the alliance chart up. Y'all fill time.
My boy.
we're never
Pooch.
mentioning that man's name again.
Pooch. I just
Oh.
did.
Not him.
Oh.
Let's talk about off-brand Elvis.
Oh, no, that one can go.
All right. Let me share my screen because I'm stealing this from a Twitter account. So
Oh my god, theft.
You mean X?
in
I do
front of
that
my
every
very
time.
own eyes.
I just have to show. I want to show their handle so everyone knows who I'm stealing it from. It's Aiden. Everyone knows Aiden, right?
Oh my god. This
Yeah.
Riley Stan account. We love them.
Yes. Okay. Now I'll go full, so now we can kind of see this a little bit more. I think it's expanded a lot since this, but this is a good idea
I
if you're
needed
just looking.
this.
If you're looking solely for the big alliances in the house right now, this is kind of your best, I think, example. Obviously, I think Family Style, which is technically the unnamed 8-person alliance that you see at the top of here, which includes Cameron, Blue, Riley, Jag, Matt, America, Corey, and Jared. I think that's more solidified than Bye Bye Bitches necessarily is. Of course, you have your trios of like Sari and Izzy and Felicia, and of course Jared and Sari and Felicia, and you could probably bring about 4 different other trios that are just in this section of the house. But I, of course, just based on this cast alone, the Bye Bye Bitches take my fandom solely. I cannot get behind Family Style one bit. As much as I like Jag and Blue, and even America, and even Corey to an extent, I cannot support them. So how do y'all feel about the 2 large alliances that are slowly forming? Because there's a lot of talk, especially in the last day, of all of these alliances forming because they're not so secret. That's one thing. The feeds have been on crack partially because nobody seems to know how to keep their alliances a secret. I mean, Felicia literally asked Riley, who are you aligned with? To her face. And Riley, guess what she did? She told her.
She named them.
She named
She said, "All right."
about 4 people that she actually is aligned with, and which was crazy to me. But if you want, that's a great example of how unsecretive these people are because they hang out in the hammock together. They hang out in the HOH room for hours on end, and people like Heisem are having a heart attack because he thinks that people are scheming without him, and they are. And then those people are trying to align with him, and he knows something's up. So there's a lot going on here, but I want to ask you, how do you feel about these 2 alliances? Who are you more siding with, and where are you hoping that this week goes because of it? Obviously, Kirsten's the target. That's not too much of a spoiler. She's going to continue to be the target.
I mean, if you're not team Bye Bye Bitches, then you can Bye Bye Bitch. Like, honestly.
Wow, that's good.
I mean, T.
But I'm rooting for them, regardless of one messy player. I feel like if you can exchange Izzy for America or Blue,
I was just
honestly,
gonna say there's like 3 people from Bye Bye Bitches that I would want to swap out for somebody from that other group. But other than that, like Bye Bye Bitches is, I guess, who I would root for. But like I am rooting for America. I'm rooting for Blue. I'm rooting for Jag. I like Corey a little bit. So it's like I even like Riley a little bit. So it's like I don't like completely dislike the other side.
Okay.
But But like people like Red does nothing for me. Bowie does nothing for me.
Yeah.
Izzy is doing too much for me. So it's like I don't know.
Yeah,
There's a little bit from both sides that I like.
it's definitely an uphill battle for Bye Bye Bitches because you have to rank because the only reason this is really forming is because they know there's another 8 already that is formed.
Right.
And so you have to convince people of that. 2, you're dragging in like Red, who doesn't. I don't think he knows the game that well. Not that he's necessarily playing it poorly with how he's interacting with house guests, but it's kind of being like you kind of got to kick him into high gear a little bit. Which him and Heisem had really good conversations the other night while they were playing pool, just about what is forming and what they need to do about it, which I thought was really cool to see Red finally kind of getting into the game talk. And then, yeah, and then you have Bowie, who is kind of joining in on this. It seems like she's also a little bit slower to be full gung ho, but I think that'll be by the end of the week. We hopefully will have more of a split house and lines drawn and stuff, even though the vote is probably going to be unanimous. But hopefully that'll lead into something cool later on in the week, unless we have something cool like Family Style over here realizes that there is another 8 that is formed and try to go after Felicia. And in which case we may have a split house in that case, but I don't see that happening
Absolutely
either.
not. I don't want that to happen.
I don't think it
think
will.
of
I
that.
think Kirsten's gone this week.
Good. Not well, I guess. I don't know. Kristen's been like kind of team fun feeds.
No,
Like-
I don't disagree.
Like the first night, like I don't know, she was the center of attention on Twitter essentially because she was like everywhere, literally. And like it's kind of funny because now she, like as you see on the Alliance chat, not associated with anybody.
Her and Luke.
So it's kind of funny how she did like a whole like 180 within like 3 days.
Yeah.
So,
Which, I mean, she finally, even just like right as the episode was airing, was finally doing a little bit of campaigning, talking to the veto winner. I don't know why I'm acting like I can't just say the veto winner. I think we're all adults here. We can, we're okay with spoilers. So I'm gonna say the veto winner, so I can keep talking about it. So I'm gonna give a drum roll, and I'm gonna say the veto winner. Spoiler alert for everyone: you have until the end of the drum roll, or like midway through. I don't know how long this goes.
Janelle.
Oh, that was the laugh one. Oh, that was really embarrassing. I thought it was going to be a drum roll. It was just the joke one. That's
Janelle is in the game, guys.
she entered with the veto necklace around her neck.
okay. I'll do a gasp instead. The veto winner is Heisem.
Oh, he's on this season.
The veto winner is
It
Heisem.
has-
Everyone.
I can't.
Veto winner is Heisem. He's not going to use it as of now to catch you all up on everything else.
He's not going to ruin his game.
He's not going to ruin his game, believe it or not. It's
Damn
going to be
it.
Kirsten and Felicia on the block at the end of the week. There we go. Now that we've got that out of the way, we can talk a little bit more about everything else. So, who else do we need to talk about at this cast as these alliances formed? Because I was particularly intrigued by Jag and Blue and their initiative to kind of get in this alliance and form it, and also push their ideas to form other connections outside of the alliance. I was really impressed by it. I think people are somewhat clocking it since then, especially because Blue was a little bit messy. Jag is talking to literally everyone. It's all kind of getting around, and I think their plans might blow up in their face, but it was fun to watch for like 2 days. Them look like they really had a chokehold on this alliance, while also trying to not be the centerpieces of it. But unfortunately, I think they, like almost everyone in this cast, are playing a little bit too hard at this point. So we'll see how that goes, because Jag's already being thrown out as a potential target from the Bye Bye Bitches side of things, which I didn't think was going to happen as of night 1. And now that's already a thing. It's kind of like Amira last year. It's like, surely Amira's going to win this game, right? She's too smart not to. And then she's gone by the next week.
Choose your winner pick.
I am not doing this again, because I said Amira last year the week before she went home, and I refuse. I can't do it anymore.
She's in a good position. She's
I guess.
probably going to make it far.
Okay, well, how about we do this? We can make it fun. now that we have these big
Oh,
alliances,
boy.
and everyone in chat gets to participate. Also, thank you for being here, chat. Y'all have been doing great. I saw Roxy showed up in the chat earlier, and all y'all wanted to do was talk to her, which I understand. But I want to know, who is your winner pick right now? We'll be exposed when they eventually get evicted in the next couple of
Girl.
weeks. Nick, you get to go first.
Oh,
Oh my god, I have 2 names, but I don't know which one I want to say.
Mm.
I'm gonna say America.
America as the winner of Big Brother 25, the person who has gotten the least amount of screen time, I think, both on feeds and the episodes.
That's the winner, though.
Maybe. I don't know. Taylor got a lot of screen time last year.
Okay, well, Taylor's a different beast. Okay.
Yeah,
she set the precedent that
she is our
Now-
president too. You weren't
yeah.
lying.
she'll do better than many people. So,
The hell did that come from? Okay, Zach, who's your winner pick?
I don't know. He'll do better. She would do better than many other people.
Just give me your winner pick.
Well, okay.
Try to get political on this show.
I'm not trying. I was just
I
making
saw
a
your
joke.
attempts.
No one knows my stuff. Honestly, Suri, I could see it. I'm pretty sure I said Taylor last season, like third weekish, and
That's an easy thing to say now.
I'm pretty confident that I said that last season, or at least my hope. So my hope is Suri and Jared in final 2. I think that they have. I feel like Suri has the knowledge to do it and can help Jared through this, and they would win.
Isn't that wild that would be the second time in Big Brother history that there would be a parent-child duo in the final 2?
What are you talking about? This is the first time.
Oh yeah, I forgot that was our thing last week that we didn't know who the Donatos were.
I mean-
The chat loved that. That killed.
Yeah, I mean,
Y'all are
He didn't-
embarrassing.
he didn't deserve to win. So
Okay. Nick, so you're solid. Zach, you're solid with Suri. Nick, you're solid with America. You're locking that in. You can't change it.
I guess.
We didn't have a draft, so we have to do something that's kind of like a draft.
Well, who's yours? You didn't say.
You're right. I didn't say it's because I don't really know who to pick, but
Well, now you have to. What the hell?
no, I am gonna say the winner of Big Brother 25. Unfortunately,
Oh.
is gonna be no. Actually, no, I can't pick him. I was gonna say Cameron, but I don't see Cameron winning. I think he's too. He's got it. He seems to be too controlling at this point of the game. That's gonna blow up in his face by next week, probably.
I thought you were about to say Red.
No, wouldn't that be crazy though? If someone told you right now that Red was gonna win Big Brother 25, like someone from the future, I don't know if I would believe it.
Clip this. Watch at the end of the season.
This is why we make opinions early on in the game, is so people can make fun of us later on. You've shown Nick that Monty
Bowie's
clip
gonna
like
win.
10 times.
This
Oh
is
my
man.
god. Listen, he's still attractive, okay?
God, this is so tough. I like Heisem. I'm gonna go with Heisem.
Okay, that's a good pick.
Good furniture.
I think I didn't like how scared he was at first, and maybe he was acting, but when he found out that everyone, like, that people were talking game that first night, he genuinely sounded terrified that he now had to play the game of Big Brother, which made me a little bit worried, but also that could have been acting. I don't know. But when he found out that people were like forming things and talking in rooms, he just said, "It's the first night. People are already talking game." And I was just like, oh no, Heisem, catch up. But now he's caught up and he is going crazy in these last couple of days. Since he won that veto, I don't know. He full on just said that he hated Corey yesterday. That was wild. I didn't expect that to
That
come
was
out of his
wild.
mouth. But I mean, then
Why?
again,
Why
we
did
got
he say he
Cameron being
hated
called a
Corey?
serial killer. I mean, a lot of things have been said so far in this house.
Did you say why you hated Corey?
He didn't really give a good reason. I don't remember. Maybe Chad.
No.
I don't know if you remember him giving a good reason, but it was in the sense of just like the more I think about it, the more I've come to the decision that I hate Corey. It was like in that sense, it's like okay, cool. But all right, there's our picks. So I got Heisem, Nick's got America, Zach's got Sari. Okay, let's see how that works out for us. Next 3 boots.
Did you? No, absolutely not. Do not say Sabri is going to be the next 3 boots. First
After
of all,
Kirsten, of course.
Shut up. Second of all,
I'm surprised you didn't
Did you watch-
pick Felicia.
I can't see. I don't think Felicia's long for this game.
Yeah.
She is
Felicia
my favorite so
team
far.
TV. Me too. She is definitely team TV, and she has been team fun feeds, and like she is the entertainment of the season. But the fact that she's already on the block and is talking to people like the HOH and going up to them and being like, "Who's in your alliance?"
I mean, come on. Who isn't saying that in this house? It's very weird.
She had Sari shook. Like, did y'all
Yeah.
see Sari's head bop when she said that? She got whiplash from that comment. Like,
Also, going back to the HOH comp, which I should have mentioned this before, I feel like the nominees should have been able to play.
And what would have
yeah,
happened?
why
Say one
not?
of them wins, they just automatically
They take
off the
another
block.
one of them down.
Yeah, I
They
guess when
take
you got
only
4
one of them.
nominees, that wouldn't be a bad thing
2
necessarily.
of them are going to
Right.
come down anyways.
Yeah. So yeah, the HOH wins. They're one of the nominees. They just take off one more nominee. I see.
Not that Felicia would have won, but still.
Yeah. Yeah. I kind of like that, but I don't know. It's yeah. I was about to make up a point to counter that, but then again, we've never had nominees before in HOH, so I don't know what I was gonna say. But I get that it would have kind of ruined their twist of the Scrambleverse if one of the 4 nominees gets HOH, but at the same time, it would have been pretty intriguing to throw all 4
I would have
people.
scrambled things. The
It would've.
nominees can now compete in the HOH competition.
I mean, yeah, that would have
Did,
gone well, but we were doing the comic verse, so we can't do a scramble verse with the
is-
comic verse. That would make no sense, Zach.
That'd be an
this
incursion.
is random, but Barrett, did you watch The Traitors?
I did not watch The Traitors. I'm just going to continue my non-Sari Fields video.
I just wanted, I
videography list.
was curious.
It had your favorite player of all time on there, Rachel Riley.
My favorite player of all time?
Yeah.
You're correct. That is my favorite player of all time.
Rachel Riley, Stephanie LaGrossa.
Yeah,
Cody
second favorite player of
Calafiore.
all
He
time.
doesn't know who Stephanie LaGrossa is, which is, embarrassing, but,
Yeah. I'll leave again, I swear. I'll do it.
Please don't.
I'm going to play this quick clip from Felicia just because I feel like it.
As you should, honestly.
Is it her falling? Oh.
It was not her Felicia.
I spent yesterday. I just came out and said so. Who's your alliances with right now? She was stunned. And so we was like,
I haven't seen this.
She get
Wait,
yeah.
that
That was in
was
reference to
good.
her asking Riley, of course. We kind of talked about it earlier. Who she's aligned with, which she totally did. And then apparently Jared also did it with Blue, which I did not see that. I didn't know that. But that's amazing. I wish people would do that more often. Because Felicia does not care so far about what she says to
She
people.
has no filter whatsoever, and I love it. Like, she is what they need to cast more of on Big Brother. Like, whoever in casting found Felicia, do the whole cast next time, because like she is what y'all need. Like, she's giving old school Big Brother for me, and like it's the energy we need.
Yeah, it is that kind of energy. I totally agree. And she had another thing that she said about, in the same vein of approaching Riley and asking her who she's aligned with. She basically said, and I'll do it again. I'll go up and just be like, we know you're all aligned. So tell us what you're called so we know how to refer to you. So I can't wait for that moment to happen.
God, she's crazy. Like,
Watch it be Allison Grodner casted her.
Yeah. Cast. If Roxy were here, she would yell at you right now, Zach. I made that mistake too many times.
casted. Okay.
yeah.
I'm just trying to save you. I did find the video of Heisem talking about how he hates Corey. And of course I clicked off of it right as I actually did find it. But
Typical.
okay, here we go.
Giving them a direction of like, you have to get her out, you have to get Eisen out, you then have to get like maybe you have like these. They have a list of people they want to get out, right? And the truth of the matter is that they will cut Jared at the end, and I wouldn't be surprised if they cut Cody out at the end anyway, right? I don't get his name right. It's because like subconsciously I hate him.
He subconsciously hates Corey.
I mean, that would be me. Yeah. If I know I wouldn't like someone and just, rebrand them.
That's Cody.
Yeah.
I don't
Cody,
know.
California.
Yes. Cody statistically have done well. So maybe it's not a terrible rebrand for Corey. He should rethink his name, specifically the third letter.
Yeah. One of them won Amazing Race.
That's true. That's actually, yeah. And I wasn't even thinking about that Cody for a second. I don't know why I wasn't thinking about Cody
either.
Nichols. Is that his last name?
Yes.
Yes.
It's Nick's power couple.
Nixon?
I think it is Nixon.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, named after Nick.
Yeah. Oh my God. Son of Nick.
It was fate.
Theorizing.
I will say, to what you were saying about Felicia, I think she's gonna stay around for a while though. Did y'all see that clip of what what Cameron said whenever they were talking about targeting Suri and Felicia?
No. What happened?
Mm-mm.
It was him, and I think it was Cameron and Luke, and they were talking about how their side wanted to target, not Luke, someone on that side. They were talking about wanting to target Felicia or Suri, and they're like, now they're literally cooking and cleaning and cooking her for us. Why would I want to get rid of them?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did see that actually. Yeah, Cameron, not my favorite.
Me neither.
No,
Not my favorite at all.
not your favorite stay-at-home dad.
Of the stay-at-home dads on this cast, he is my least favorite. I'll be completely honest with that. But I know a lot of people just don't like the way he talks in general, or just like the way his voice sounds. It's like Kyland to some people. But I don't know. I just think he is not someone I would ever want to align with, unless it was to the point of like, I want you to think that you have full control over this situation, because apparently that's your thing. And you just talk, and I will be the one that sits next to you at the end of the week and watch you go home. Like that seems to be like that's the only way I would ever align with Cameron. But yeah, I don't know. He knows the game. I will give him that. He does know the game and loves to talk game, but I don't necessarily want to hear him talk game.
Damn. Okay.
I can't take him seriously when he's looking like Tico from The Emperor's New Groove. You know, the little girl with the little, or Mickey Mouse.
Yes, he did style his hair that way.
I know what you're talking about, but I've never seen the movie, so.
Cameron wasn't in this episode too much tonight that we saw. We had the little moment with Red and Mikol, who are referring to as Mimi now, I believe. And I think Bowie Jane is now just Bowie again. So we've gone back. So a couple of changes in names.
Nothing will ever top 21 with all the name changes.
Mickey.
You had like Mickey, you had Catherine changing from like Cat. A mess.
Sarah Beth was Sarah at first, I believe.
I think
SB.
so. Yeah, and then she was SB. It was
Yeah.
Y'all need to pick a damn name.
For Super Bass.
Yeah, I don't know why we can't get on the same page with names in this show.
Red's gonna be
Okay.
R. Blue's gonna be B.
Yes. Just
It's
only
gonna be
first letters
letters.
at this point. Yeah. Well, we had the whole Kirsten thing. You talking about the name that starts with a K? Are we talking about the same person? Are we talking about the person whose name starts with a K?
Girl, just say the
What does that
damn
help?
name.
There's only one person in the house whose name starts with a K. I
One
think.
person. There is.
It's not gonna save anything. Yeah, I didn't understand that. God. Anyway, let me look for more clips because I'm having fun. I don't have the one of Felicia falling into the pool, but I don't think it's relevant right now.
Oh,
Unfortunately,
it's good. It's good. You should watch it. Just saying.
no, I watched it. I watched it solely for the hear the mic go as soon as it went into the water. That was incredible.
I heard that.
Okay, fine.
And
you
it's the
convinced me,
second.
I'll
It's the
find it.
second mic that she's. It's the second mic that she's broken. I think.
Yes.
Taking out
Um,
that stipend.
So camp.
Yeah, to give you context, it was immediately after the backyard opened that everyone ran out, and Felicia immediately fell into the pool. Pulled a Jerry from BB10. Everyone at first was like, they told us not to get into the hot tub, Felicia, which is amazing that they thought that Felicia just immediately ran to do like a cannonball into the
Right
hot tub.
into the fucking hot tub. like what the fuck?
What's whatever.
Oh my god, the whole
God.
clip is so good. Like,
I swear, I
love
saw like 20
Felicia.
clips of this on Twitter, and now I cannot find a single clip of her
oh my
falling
gosh,
into the pool.
I'll find it for you in like 2 seconds.
I even saw an edit with Jessica falling in BB21 off the wall.
Oh, I
with the
saw
same
that
noise
too.
and everything. Did you send it to me? Oh, you
I
did.
did.
Thank you so much. We will grace everyone with the video. And sorry, audio only people, if you are just having to listen to the glug glug glug. But I promise it's worth it.
It's really good.
Wait, didn't they say no music?
He said no hot tub. He just said he said no hot tub.
Didn't they say don't?
They just said no hot tub.
Oh, good job,
Are you okay?
Let's hear
Like
the glug
that-
glug glug one more time.
To-
Wait, didn't they?
I love the good
Like
job
the-
girl at the end.
the screaming, like there's just so much happen. Like this clip to me captures the first week like perfectly. Like screaming, a lot of going on, Felicia falling, like it's perfect.
Jameson says, ironic how the oldest woman and man of Big Brother fell into the pool. That's a really good point.
That is a really interesting stat.
It's a rite of passage.
yeah.
And Eli says she's actually been through 4 mics now, Zach, not just 2.
Ah, sorry.
You were
Just
just trying to
back.
be nice. I get it.
She deserves better.
Yes, absolutely.
I need to start
totally
getting
agree.
waterproof ones just for her.
Yeah, we could invest in that.
Just put give her a plastic
CVS.
baggie.
Or she ends up just having someone come into the house and hold a boom mic over her. They just don't trust her with an actual mic of her
They
own.
bring in Turner.
Yeah, the stagehand,
The
finally.
stagehand.
It gets to go full circle. Yeah. Felicia is the best. If Felicia is not your favorite, what season are you watching? You know? Well, I guess
I agree.
because not only is she good from a personality standpoint, I think she's also good as a gamer too. Like she's playing the game. I feel like sometimes we just get one of those sides of people, but she is attempting to play the game at full force and then some, which I only appreciate. And that's exactly what I want from, you know, the oldest person in the house right now. And we usually don't get that with the oldest people in the house.
Yeah. Can we talk about something that's like really stupid, but I want to talk about it anyways because it's been all over Twitter. But the whole like there's like a couple theories, but the whole like 18th house guest, first of all, and then the whole
Yeah.
like Luke's a twin and like all that BS, which I personally think all of it is fake, but I wanted to bring it up.
I think there's gonna be another house guest.
Who?
I don't know who.
And when are they coming in?
Next week. Or this
Why
week?
why did they just get a week off?
Multiverse.
Explain. That makes no sense.
You can't just say multiverse and have that be your explanation.
Marvel gets to do it.
I mean, that's
DC
pretty
gets
much
to
what
do
they
it.
threw Suri in the house and said multiverse. So, like, I mean, I guess you're kind of right, Zach. Like,
Barbie gets to do it.
That you're not explaining why you think there's going to be an 18th house guest. You can't just say because multiverse. I get that there's a
It's the
multiverse
25th
twist.
season. How about this? Expect the unexpected. There.
You're okay.
that was already Suri.
I'm never asking you a question again. That was terrible.
Okay. Think about it like this. I think that each little each universe is going to have a house guest unleashed.
Girl,
There's only 4. We already got one.
Yeah, which verse did Suri come in for?
The Scramble verse.
Scramble verse. Yeah.
So we got the Scramble verse. We got the scary verse.
I don't think they know what the hell any of these verses mean.
The comic
they have no
verse.
clue.
And what was it? The
names
Humiliverse.
out of a hat. Like, what is going on here? Like, why is one of them the Scramble verse? Like, what is going on?
I don't
this
know.
season is very confusing to me so far. I'm just like, y'all just picked shit out of a hat and like said, let's do this. Like,
I mean, they were all themes for each competition in the first episode. Like, each one was a
Right.
verse, but I mean, I don't know how that relates to
We had the
anything
comic verse
like
tonight.
anything else, right? Like, what the bedrooms? Ooh, like I'm just like so confused about like the whole thing.
yeah.
I
It's
don't
not-
think there. I don't
it's
think
not
that
gonna
there
be.
is no 18th house guest though. So
You say that, watch. And I don't think it's going to be CT from the challenge. That CT would
yeah,
not
enough
do
with
Big
the
Brother.
stupid challenge crap. I keep seeing it all over Twitter too, and
I will say,
the guy-
Bananas hasn't actually tweeted in a while.
Oh,
girl,
He's very active on social media, and he hasn't been active in a while.
okay, you would know, Mr. Bananas fan.
So,
Anyways,
oh my gosh, he's getting a call back before Morgan does.
okay, we didn't need to go there.
I don't even
I'm
know
just
what that
kidding.
meant, but I felt the tension.
I'm just kidding. He's been active on social media. But
She
people
was
haven't-
called and declined. Just saying.
She was called for the challenge. Anyway.
She was.
Anyway, I think there's going to be another house guest. I honestly do. Either that or
Who?
I don't know. Obviously, it's not Frankie because he's active on social media. Obviously, it's not Brittany because she's active on social media. Danielle, she doesn't have an Instagram supposedly, but she tweets. But anyone can run a Twitter. Like Suri, someone's running Suri's Instagram account.
I don't like. Obviously, it's not going to be any of those 3. They would know like everything about the twist before the season started. That would be a bit unfair. But
Right, that's what I mean. Like, it has to be someone who's like not like in like person since Wednesday.
it just seems so crowded to throw in. Like, there's already too many things going on to be like, and actually, we're going to throw in one more person after this first
Yeah.
week has already happened. It just feels weird. I fully think there's going to be a battle back pretty early on. I can't imagine they
Oh,
would
yeah, me
not
too.
do one of those with
Especially
the amount of time
Suri
that is in the
not-
season.
Not speaking it into existence. If
Thank
for
you for
some
doing that.
chance Suri or gets evicted, there's going to be a battle back. Definitely, they would not have that.
Oh, of course. There is a big corkboard that's a Suri contingency plan if she does get evicted in the first week, which Izzy is fully convinced is going to happen. If you've watched the feeds the last day, she is spiraling more than Kirsten did, but she's fine this week, I guess. And so she's going around being like, Suri, I think you were the target. I think we ruined their plans, and that's why they're scrambling. Scrambleverse. And you were going to be the backdoor
Enough.
option. It was going to happen. And Suri's like, how do you know? And she's like, I just know. I'm Izzy. I'm in the know about everything. Yeah, I don't know why Izzy thinks that this was a good idea to do all of this, but it's like scaring Suri, and Suri's like finally being talked off of a ledge because nobody's brought this up. Riley has never once said anything about putting Suri up on the block, not even once, and she's fully committed to keeping Felicia and voting out Kirsten. So the fact that Izzy is doing the most is just gonna get her in trouble sooner
She's
rather
gotta
than later.
go.
But it's
She
so
has
risky
to
because
go.
you have to think about the element of she knows too much. Like,
She
what
does. That's why
happens?
they gotta blindside her ass. That's what they gotta do. She's gotta go on the block, and Sari has to vote her ass out and not say something
There
until
needs to be
she's
a
out
double
the door.
next week.
Period.
I
Exactly
don't
that, Zach.
know.
And Izzy needs to get on the block and go.
See, Eli in the chat. Nicole F is gonna come. She won BB Comics. There's a BB Comics universe.
So did Zach Rance.
Oh my gosh, they both come. Fruit Loop Dingus and Rance.
Oh my god. We've had enough BB16 throwbacks already in this season. I don't need.
BB 18 too. Nicole won that season.
Yeah.
Sure.
I think Nicole is busy with her child, so I don't think we'll see a Nicole Franzel on this season.
Yeah, if Rachel will come on, then she can.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. I concede. But no, I think that's such an interesting position to be in, to know, like, I think eventually Izzy is going to get to the point. Well, she's already kind of at the point where Sari is had enough. We've heard little comments of being like, you don't have to
And
check
it's
in with
been
me 10
3
times a day.
days.
I understand what's going on. Which would have been better, because then Sari wouldn't have had 10 times where Izzy approaches her and is like, I think we ruined their plans to send you out the door. Which is just so uncalled for, because she had no reason to say that. It's literally what Kirsten was doing. It's like all the guys are aligning. What makes you think this? God, it's 100 days in this season. Why are people doing this?
Fuck Izzy, and I said that shit.
I didn't have time to
agree.
cut to the we'll be right back. But yeah, it is an interesting position. Like, if Izzy does get evicted, will she spill that Jared and Sari are related? Because I don't know if she would,
I don't think
unless
she would either.
And she shouldn't if she knows what's good for her.
Exactly, because the Sari Warriors will get her ass on social media.
Yes, we will.
I don't think she's concerned with that necessarily, but
Well,
I think
she should
it
be.
is interesting if she were to go out in a blind side, knowing that Sari turned on her and Jared turned on her. I think you say it. You just got to tell everyone on your way out, which I told Joel in the group chat would be one of the greatest moments in Big Brother history. If out the door, she tells people that Jared is the son of Sari and then just leaves. How great would that be?
Well,
Like,
see, that's Team TV, and I kind of want that. Like, that would be really fun.
And then I would say, yeah,
And then Sari wins HOH.
she's my BB mom.
oh,
She's all of
never-
our mom.
Please
She's
don't
the
ever
house
say that
mom.
ever again.
Please.
I am a son of a mother.
You're right, yeah. That's your second Barbie reference in like
Yeah.
the span of 10 minutes. That was good.
That should be his comeback.
Okay. I feel like we shouldn't talk about Izzy anymore. We've talked enough about her. But then again, I stand by that. I think that's a really unique situation to be in, especially with Izzy doing the most around this house. I feel like we need to also talk about Jag and Blue and that duo. I don't know. What are y'all's opinions of Jag and Blue? Because I was really impressed with how they kind of snuck their way into well, obviously Jag and Riley bonded beforehand before Riley won HOH, but also the way that Jag and Blue have been able to kind of combine both of their forces to not only be in this group of 8, but if you watched any of Taryn's updates, kind of going through the onion style of kind of forming alliances where you have the 8, then you have the 5, then you have the 3, and then you have the 2, and make sure you're part of all of those. And Jag seemed to be doing that, having his duo with Blue, having the trio with Riley, having the 5, which is the handful, and then the 8, which is the family style. Then again, I think they started to do a little bit much with being like, now we need to have our connections outside of the alliance so we can control everything. And then people are kind of seeing how that's going to play out. But how do y'all feel about Jag and Blue just as a duo? Because I feel like they were good characters the first couple of days on the feeds.
Yeah, I really like them both, honestly. Those are two of the people from that side of the house that I like really like. Because they're like playing. They're like actually like trying to do
They-
things.
Yeah.
And like I actually like really appreciate it, especially because like it's, I don't know, it's so early. And like you see like to me it's showing that they have like the minds to actually like play the game, and like it's
Yeah.
still so early, and like that's like what I want to see from people right now. And like I feel like both of them are like capable of winning things. They're obviously smart. They want to play. Like I could see them going far, honestly, the two of them together. So, and then I feel like Riley and Jag are also like really, really tight. So,
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
like I think Jag is like set up in like a really nice spot, honestly.
I agree. I also think he could be out next week.
Okay, so you don't agree.
No. I love where he's positioned himself in his group of 8. It's just all it takes is one person from the other side of the house, and we've already heard people like Sari and Felicia talk about if they were able to be in power, if there is this true split, like they think that there's gonna be, that Jag is one of the people that they're gonna throw up on the block. And I think even Heisem has kind of clocked it because he saw I think it was a mix of Jag going into the HOH room, being in there for like 4 hours, and then coming down and not spilling really anything that happened up there, and just really not giving him enough information. So I think people are seeing that. Obviously, people see that this 8 has formed, and they're pretty much right. I think Felicia literally named every person that is in the handful, and it was like, I think it's these people. It's like, yeah, they're that obvious about it, where you have people naming every single person in the alliance, not leaving anyone out. It helps that Jared's in it, of course, but Jared feeding info is definitely a key portion in the information that is being spread around this house. Kind of the same with Corey. He's also kind of in the middle, which he was smart enough to see that he was out in the outskirts of this alliance. He was not in the core 5, which this Big Brother has ruined the word core, I think, for everyone, because everyone has to have a core. We got to have a core 3. We got to have a core 4. And I'm tired of it. I think we need a different word besides core. Can we think of a different one?
Center.
Still a C word. I don't know. Zach, can you do better than core? I like it. That's good.
Yeah, I can't think of anything core. I like the core 4. I like that.
When it rhymes, it's better. Yeah.
Yeah. Dynamic. I mean, but that's duo. The League.
Okay.
Oh, how about the Shield?
The Shield.
Girl, no.
Perhaps a meat shield.
He's talking about the Big Brother Canada season 1 alliance that I hate.
Ah, yes, my favorite season of Big Brother Canada.
It's not it.
But for me, the Jag and what's the other person's name?
Blue.
It's a primary
I'm getting used to everyone's name. Oh my gosh. Actually, purple's
Blue's
my color.
queenly though. I really like Blue.
I like her, don't get me wrong, but it takes me a minute. They're giving Betty and Josh, honestly.
Betty and Josh.
Do you not remember Queen
Yeah,
Betty?
I'm trying to see the comparison is why I'm confused.
I mean, a duo, like really close the first week and so, and then just I could see them faring pretty well trying to do that dynamic. I don't know. They just remind me of them. I can't give a specific reason yet.
You think Jag is gonna win the final HOH and cut Blue and take the person who's gonna win unanimously in
3,
the final
yeah.
3?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, interesting. Because that's what happened with those two people, Barrett.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And I finally found a corresponding photo of Jag and Blue to throw up here right as we ended our conversation about them. So that was embarrassing on my part. So hopefully everyone knows who Jag and Blue is at this point of the season. It's the two people I threw up on the screen right at the end of our conversation about them. So I'm sorry about that. But yeah, I just thought they were two really good members of I guess besides Riley, two kind of centerpieces of the 8 that formed pretty early on. But yeah, we haven't talked about Luke at all, and I feel like we should briefly mention him. But also, I might leave that for later because I want Nick to talk about now that he has like not too much time left before I have to kick him off. Nick, I want you to
I'm
talk
getting
about
evicted.
yeah. I want you to talk about the premiere party because you missed our premiere podcast because you
I
were at the
did.
Big Brother premiere party, as you kind of talked about at the beginning of the
I
podcast. But
did.
I want you to talk more about your experience before we kick you out and tell us who you talked to, who was there, what was your favorite moments. You don't have to say everything, but
Okay.
how was the whole thing?
It was a lot of fun. I met a lot of people from last season. I loved Jasmine, as I was saying to Barrett before this. Jasmine was like one of the nicest people like ever.
Yeah, Roxy's best friend.
Yeah, literally Roxy's best friend. So was Taylor, obviously. I will say Taylor went around. Oh my god, please. There we are, the girls.
Yeah, I'll throw up
Roxy's
these
home
pictures
girl.
as you narrate. I'll paint the picture.
Taylor,
Roxy's
I will
homegirl.
say Taylor went around and like literally made sure she met every single person. Like she was so nice to every single person. Like she would stop and like have a conversation with everyone. Like literally one of the nicest alum like at the whole event. And I mean like she's Taylor, like she could do no wrong. I loved my boy Pooch.
Did
I
Pooch
don't
make the photo
he did
list
not
on here?
make the Twitter post, unfortunately.
Man.
Who else was there? Oh, well, there was Michael, obviously, with Hannah. They were cool. There was like so many people there, honestly. Like the more and more I think about it. Joseph was there. I didn't get a picture with her. There's my queen Angela from Bear Girls Club and the Challenge. Azza, of course, queen. Love her. Oh, and that's Miss Cachet right after we just got done taking a tequila shot. Yeah. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. And like any Big Brother fan that like has these events in the area, I will say Azza hosts amazing events. They're always so much fun and she always puts a lot of work into them. So like if you can attend, you totally should because like I said, it's a lot of fucking fun. And I brought some friends with me this year who have never gone to anything like that before, but are like casual fans of the show, and they like had a blast. So I feel like if anybody is literally watching a podcast on Big Brother, they would have a really, really fun time at any event that Azza throws because she does a lot. There's like a couple more. They're on her Twitter. You can find them. She's doing a couple tour dates, as I like to call them, even though it's not really a tour. But yeah, y'all should totally check it out because it's a lot of fun. And it was funny because the TV went out for like 20 minutes while we were there.
Yes, I was wondering when you were going to get to that.
Yeah, I had no idea what the fuck was going on. They literally brought them all out and they were doing the competitions. And then the TVs like all went out. And like I was downstairs because there was like a whole upstairs area that I wasn't even at yet. And I just heard like shrieks and I was like, okay, like I guess it's not just here. And eventually the TV came back on. Like I was fine. I was like chilling. And then the TV came back on and like all the comps were already done. And I was like, I don't know what is going on anymore. And I'm just gonna watch this when I get home. And then the best part was when Cirie, so like how they showed Cirie and she was like standing there like pouring the drink and you like saw the back of her head. It was like the Super Bowl was just like won or something. Like the bar like erupted. Like it was the craziest reaction I have ever like experienced because I don't like sports. So I don't do sports in bars. That's not me. But this is the vibe I was getting if I did like sports and went to bars to go watch sports.
In the multiverse where you go to bars and watch sports.
Exactly that. It was crazy. Like people were literally like acting like something was going on. And like it's funny because my friends that I brought with me, watched Big Brother but not Survivor had no clue who the fuck she was. So like she pops on the screen and my friends are all just like, what's going on? And I was like, that's Sari. And they're like, who the fuck is Sari? And I was like, how do
Who
you
is
not
this
fucking
ominous
know
figure
Sari?
pouring
Like-
champagne in the kitchen?
Right. They were like, who is that? I was like, she's Sari. Like, how do you not know? But it was a great time.
Wow. Well, Nick, thank you for sharing.
Of
I
course.
was jealous of you the entire night. So,
It
I
was-
mean,
it was a lot of fun.
not jealous of missing part of the premiere, I guess, but
Yeah.
maybe if it was the part where Frankie and Brittany and Danielle all shoot a time laser in the house, maybe at that point I would have liked to have missed that. But other
We
than
just,
that, I
like,
was very
leave the
jealous.
Frankie part out, but yeah,
Yeah.
it was fun. So
All right. Anything? I'm trying to think. We have 5 more minutes with Nick, so I'm trying to think of how I want to spend this 5 minutes.
Oh my god, 5 more minutes.
Yes. Let's talk about Luke for 5 good minutes. That's not a word. That is
Do
an
y'all
Oz,
think-
but
Do y'all think he's a twin?
I don't think Luke is a twin. I'll be honest with you. I
What-
don't
what-
think.
What's people's like reason?
People, so no one in the house thinks he's a twin because like I kept getting texts being like, oh my god, people think Luke is a twin, and I'm like, okay, but people in the house are like the people on Twitter, and like it's the people on Twitter that are saying that Luke will like go into the diary room and come out and like not remember things that he's supposed to like remember. And I'm like, okay, yeah, and like this too. And I was like, okay, so what here is giving twin? Because I'm seeing the same person.
Yeah, it's the same person, and it's Kyle.
Ew, stop it. It like kind of is Kyle.
No, I tweeted the screenshot that I had of like the first night, and it was Kyle. Like it was fully Kyle. Couldn't convince me otherwise. I'll find it, but it was like him turned around, and it was like kind of pixelated. But I mean, it was dead on. Like this is Kyle.
That's literally Kyle.
Yes, 100%.
Kyle is the 18th house guest. You
Yes.
just Kyle's the twin twist. Oh my god, Barrett, you figured it out.
It was all me. I knew it the whole
Wow.
time.
Wow.
It's Holly.
It's Holly.
Yeah, I don't believe that for a second. But Luke is one of, as we saw in the alliance chart earlier, one of the other outsiders of both of the alliances that have formed in this house, both of the big alliances, I should say. And there's some talk about pulling him in as another option for bye bye bitches because they know he's on the outskirts, which is not a bad move. I don't. As far as I know, Riley is dead set on having him as the next target. Riley went as far to say today as she's already thought 3 weeks ahead, which is lovely for her. That's going to be
She's-
ruined.
She is playing, or she thinks she's playing chess while the rest of the house is playing checkers, but I don't know
Yes.
about that. I do think it's very smart for Bye Bye Bitches to bring Luke in.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna just call this now. I feel it in my bones. Luke is gonna win HOH because
That
that's
would
like
be
what's gonna fucking
incredible.
happen. Like that would be incredible. Like
I don't know, like his own.
I have no idea what he would even do, like at all. Like,
I think it would be more of a handful situation. I don't trust Luke at all to side with like Sari and Felicia.
No.
At all. No, there's no way that's happening. So I think he would. Matt will pull him in because Matt's the only person who seems like he will get some enjoyment out of Luke. So I think they'll pull him in and they'll use him for a week to take out. Who knows? I'm trying to think who the next target would be, but I mean, I'm sure at that point they would know that there's more of a second side of the house, and there would be more of that split that we would see. But Luke being HOH would be very interesting. He's just not going to make his own decision, which is the bad part of it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I still want to see him win HOH though. I feel like
Oh, me too. That'd be great.
that the house would be like in flames. Like people would literally not know what to do.
Yeah, I agree. It would be terrible, but it would be so fun, which is my favorite Big Brother things.
Yes.
Okay. Have I missed anything crazy in chat? Corey referencing RHAP just for Riley to say Boston Rob was also funny. Yeah, I forgot about that. That's a
Boy.
good point, Eli. 2 seasons in a row, I think we've had Boston Rob instead of Rob Sestrino be the figurehead of our app according to Housecaps. So thank you, Corey, for doing that. Jared said he wanted to win HOH, which would blow the house up and make great feeds. Yeah, also, I think that's arguably might
That would
be
be
more interesting than Luke
actually-
because he would have to show his
yeah.
cards. So, yeah, Jared
Jared
winning
should
HOH.
want HOH right now, like at all. Like that's so dumb of him.
Oh yeah, that would blow up
That's-
his spot tremendously.
That's real good TV though. So I'm
Of
like kind
course.
of here for it.
Yeah, we love good feeds. We love good TV. So it's usually like the second, third week, I think the feeds peak. At least it has in the last couple of
Yeah.
seasons. So I'm hoping for the same case here, or hopefully the peak happens later on in the season. Actually, never mind. I hope
And
it
if
doesn't peak until
this
the end.
is like the beginning, it's like, oh girl, like this season's gonna be crazy in my opinion. Like just the way that they're all acting, like, and it's 100 damn days long, and they're on like day 5, and it's like the whole house is like running around like they're on drugs. So I'm like,
Yeah,
there is gonna be like, I don't know. I feel like this. I'm getting good energy though. Like not like, I don't know. I feel like this season's gonna be like explosive, but like in a good way.
yeah. I think Sari being here has actually helped it a ton because if Sari was not here, Jared would not have to be aligned with both sides of the house. I think he falls in with that younger, and we didn't really show the
Mhm.
age gap between. I know someone made like the age median
Yeah.
of both of those alliances. It's like 44 years old for Bye Bye Bitches and 27 years old for the Handful. And so I think Jared would have fallen into the Handful side of things, and we have a much less interesting season because Sari would not be kind of the figurehead of Bye Bye Bitches, and Felicia would not
Mhm.
have someone to bounce off so well. And I don't think anyone finds that alliance together if Sari's not there. And Jared's also going to both sides. So I'm glad she's there because I think it makes the season far more interesting just from a dynamic standpoint.
Yeah, it does. And like the thing too is like I mean, I don't want to kiss Cerise's ass some more, but like I'm gonna do it. Like Cerise's like such a good player that like having her in the cast, I feel like kind of like jump started the game. Like I don't know, just her being in like the counter alliance to like the big group is like that makes sense to me that like Suri would do something like that.
Mhm.
And so like having her in, the game, even I don't know how long she's gonna last. Obviously, I want her to win, but like having her in it now, like in the very beginning, and having her like just jumpstart like everything that's going on. I'm like, oh, like this is why I fucking love her so much. Like she's
Yeah.
just like she's making sure this game is being played, and I'm here for it. So
Right. Nick,
We
that
love
might have to be your
Saray.
last point. But it was a good
we
point
love
to make.
Saray.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, Nick, I'm gonna kick you out. I'll give
Okay.
you your applause because it's necessary. Nick, thanks so much for being here. If anyone wants to follow Nick, he is at the Nick City on Twitter. Go follow him.
Or X
and-
now, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
and so you can do that if you really want to. But otherwise, Nick, will we see you on Thursday, perhaps?
Yeah.
Unless something
you
crazy
should.
happens, we will see Nick on Thursday.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that. Yeah, but maybe we'll see.
I'm
you
just
on
saying yes.
Okay. Okay. I know that was an ominous yeah, but okay, cool. Well, Nick, have a great night. Get some good rest and rest up for Thursday, especially.
Oh yeah. Thanks. Y'all too. When we get a Luke HOH up in here.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right. Bye, Nick.
Bye.
And now we're down to the final two once Nick leaves forever. Oh, there you go. He left. I didn't think he was going to be here at the end of that sentence, but Zach, it's just me and you now. Any house guests that we really haven't talked about to the fullest extent yet? I think we've talked plenty about Suri so far. There's also plenty of clips that I've liked on Twitter, X, whatever we want to call it, that I could bring up too, just to have some other conversation pieces because there was some good stuff, especially early on when the feeds came on. But we've talked about Cameron a lot. We talked about Riley as an HOH a little bit. I don't know if we did like a deep dive on how she's kind of operating as HOH. but I there were a couple points that I have contention on. I don't know how you feel about Riley as the first HOH of the season, but to me, it was just funny early on how she was talking about Kirsten being like, "Gosh, she's just like Frenchie. He's playing too hard, too fast. In this game, you can't do that." And then immediately makes a majority alliance and is also nonstop talking to everyone, which is exactly what Frenchie did
Yeah.
as the first HOH of Big Brother 23. And then other than that, her conversations being like, I want to play this game with integrity and honesty. And that's the tone I want to set for the season. And even more on top of that, as Zach is going to go to the other side of the room to make his future point about Riley. The last moment of the show tonight when Riley was like, and also in regards to Kirsten, I don't want to align, or the people that are pot stirring, or more specifically, the people that are schemers are not the ones I want to align with, which is quite a sentence to say on a game where people scheme. You don't want to align with a person who schemes? What does that mean?
No. You want to align with boring, thoughtless puppets that you can control.
I will say this. I don't think there's one person in the handful, maybe besides Matt, that Riley could control or anybody could control. I think a lot of them are independent thinkers, which is interesting because I feel like you want to drag a bunch of people in there. But even the stragglers that they brought into the handful, like Corey and Matt, or I said besides Matt, I haven't seen Matt fully play the game yet. I'm waiting to. I'm excited when he finally wants to, but even Corey knows his position in that alliance and can think for himself. We saw that plenty tonight. And so I don't see her. Her HOH is just a bit iffy because she's had an alliance full of schemers, but she doesn't want to be aligned with schemers. So we'll see how that works out for her. But did you have any other thoughts about Riley's HOH?
Not really. I mean, I kind of forget that she's the HOH just because she didn't actually make the noms. I mean, she did technically. She took people off, let's be honest. And I feel like I don't know if she's setting herself, because the thing is, I don't think many people are after. The good thing about it is this HOH, when she gets out, like, not many people are talking about targeting her, if I'm correct in that statement.
I think she's been thrown around by also Felicia and Suri as like a potential nominee next to Jag if they have to. But I think overall, still, she doesn't have a lot of people saying that they're directly going to go after her.
Yeah,
so you're right.
It would just be like if Jag happened. I feel like Jag's more dangerous than her anyway. And I feel like if Jag gets taken off, they may put up Blue or something.
Yeah, that's another thing. They spend so much time together. I think people see that. And Jag and Riley and Jag and Blue, kind of the same, I think, loyalty. It's the difference of Riley's in the HOH room, so Jag and Blue have more time in their own bedroom to kind of scheme and do all of that, which Riley hates. Don't scheme. Don't scheme. That Big Brother scheming. What? Don't do that. But yeah, it's been an interesting first HOH just because she was gifted the opportunity to save two people instead of nominate two people, which is interesting. But even then, I don't think she gained a lot of capital socially with any of those moves. It doesn't seem like it anyway. So we'll see how it works out for her if she stays as how much she is the spokesperson of the handful when she is not in power anymore, which I don't think she will be as much as maybe she thinks that she's going to be. Okay, Bowie is one person we have not talked about a lot, and I don't have a lot to say about Bowie, which is a reason that we haven't talked about her. I think I was going to say, I think shortening her name from Bowie Jane to just Bowie is like most of the information I can say. She does not seem to be wanting to align with the handful side of things. Nor does so seeing her hang out with more Suri and Felicia in that room is kind of what you've gotten from Bowie mostly. Also hanging out with Tyson a lot as well. At least what I've seen. There may be a lot more to Bowie that I have not seen yet, in which case I apologize to the Bowie fans out there. But there's nothing that Bowie has done that has made me say, wow, she's in trouble. Or, wow, she has done something great. We just haven't seen a lot yet. It's kind of like America. We have yet to see. I think Bowie is the America of the Bye Bye Bitches side of things. If that could be my direct comparison. Or maybe Red is, I don't know. Her and Red are also kind of on the same level for me. But then again, I just talked about, I saw Red actually talking game, which is the big difference maker. Not that Bowie hasn't been in conversations. She has. It's just never been instigated.
Yeah, and it's not her like leading or adding much context, and more of her just like, yeah,
yeah. Kind of like Nick's ominous as to whether he'll be on this podcast on Thursday or not. Eli says she was being paranoid and he said it in a friend type of way, kind of overblown on Twitter. Oh yeah, that's in reference to Cameron's I'm gonna hit you to Riley, I think.
Why I oughta to the moon.
To the moon, I like it.
Whoever which one was that? One of these days.
I don't know. I feel like I should know.
It's like 50s.
Someone will know. I guarantee it. Let me see what clips I have that I've liked on Twitter that I could still talk about. They may not be relevant to anything that we're saying, but they're just going to be clips that I enjoyed this week and I want to share. One of these was Cerise simply just saying, "Hey, Jared," on the first night.
Well, they encourage that. They encourage that when you're active duty, and they look young.
Hey, Jared.
Man. Anything out of anything knowing the context of their relationship that happens on the feeds, it just makes it so much better to me. Which is why every conversation where someone brought up Jared and Suri was in the room was just so fascinating. And I hope everyone else felt the same way, because I think this is such a cool dynamic to have in this season. For only one person in the house to know, weirdly makes it an even cooler dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I have this clip. I believe this is Heisem on the first night, kind of finding out that people are talking already, and being scared about it or confused.
I would think it's crazy that people would play so hard so fast, right? I just think it would be.
You'll be surprised.
It's a good way to get a target. Are people playing hard so fast already?
Oh, I've seen some. Absolutely.
Really?
Absolutely.
But let them do their thing. You know what I mean? Like maybe that's how they get to know people. We can't know. Yeah. We might think they playing, but that's their personality.
Everybody got that.
They're
thing,
overly observant, or you know.
Yeah, I mean, like,
But yeah, I've noticed.
It's fun. It's fun. You know what I mean?
That's pretty much it. Sometimes I go to a different tab when I play these videos, so sometimes I am fearful halfway through the clip that I forgot to click show on screen, and I've just been sitting here in silence watching a Twitter clip by myself for 30 seconds. So I'm glad that has not been the case yet. I think I manifested it now, though.
People are manifesting already?
Yeah, already. People are manifesting in the game already? They're manifesting so hard, so fast? You know how it is.
I'm trying to think of anyone else. I mean, like...
Yeah, if we haven't talked about them already, there's probably a reason we haven't talked about them. Do you have any theories, theory time again, for what might happen with the Nether next week?
The Nether?
When we have another Nether.
I missed the first part of the...
Oh, yeah, that's right. You missed this portion of the episode where Corey came back. I forgot to... So Corey comes back. And I'll actually just find this clip. You can learn this way. You can watch it for the first time. For the record, Zach watched the far majority of this episode. Just happened to miss when Corey came back, so I could just see the 10 people that were about to yell at you, Zach, and I wanted to save you.
I pay attention to feeds. That's the good part about it.
I think that's the better part about it.
Yeah.
Okay, Corey's back. He pulled out a note and he was basically like, so I went to the Nether and was able to get out. I'm paraphrasing, but next week one house guest might not be so lucky. So what do you take from that as I find the clip?
What? Well, next week is there? What is there going to be like a hole that opens up and they just fall in?
They're gonna the phantom hand's gonna come out of the TV where Julie is and just grab someone and pull them in. I think
Or
is what's
while
gonna
they're
happen.
sleeping and then they're just going to scream and everyone's going to wake up like, ah!
Yes.
No, it's going to be like, what's it called when the squirrel went around in 21 and was bagging people up and we had to believe that they actually
my
bagged
God.
them up.
Yeah, I forgot about that. And you just reminded me of every time we have a competition and they like fizzle out of the frame and they're like, it's very much like the time laser where they're like, what's going on? And then they just like fade away from the screen in an explosion. Yeah, I remember Cody Calafiore having to pull out his own acting chops for that one, and it was spectacular.
Where'd they go?
Where'd they go? You're making me want to pull that up. That was insane. Between that and Terrence being in an acid trip in a competition last year, I don't know what to think anymore. I swear I will find this clip, and if I don't, we'll just watch a portion of the episode that's longer than I intended to watch.
And I'm just scanning the room. Familiar face. Oh, they'd be
Oh,
in a
he's
challenge.
seeing
Oh,
Suri
they'd
for
be in
the
a
first
challenge
time.
too. And I see Suri. Like, the Suri. Suri Fields.
Okay, I gotta get him talking.
This dude is super young.
Oh my God, I keep overshooting the portion of this episode that I want to watch. I simply want to hear him talk about
ready to go.
the Nether.
Guys, I was pulled to the Nether region to deliver you all a message.
That's how I should start every podcast.
This is a transmission from the Scaryverse. Corey was pulled into the Nether region. Luckily for him, it was only for a short time. Unfortunately, next week, one of you won't be so lucky.
Ooh.
End transmission.
Anything? Any theories?
Isolation, I guess. I mean,
We've already got a theory like that in the chat.
yeah, which I mean, they say it's a big deal, but if it's someone whose furniture or someone, isolation punishment isn't what it used to be.
Yeah.
I mean, it hasn't been something since Dan's isolation, which it wasn't something that happened outside. It was more him thinking inside. But
I mean, you also got Sam as a robot. That's what I thought of at first. Is like maybe they'll do some sort of robot punishment, or like I guess their version of it now in Big Brother 25.
what if they get exchanged for another house guest?
It's like in never mind. That's too specific of a reference. That could be a good one though.
Then
It's not going to happen, but that would.
It's they're like, someone won't be so lucky, because in the Nether region, the multiverse takes over, and anyone from Big Brother's past can come in and take over any house guest's game.
Oh my God!
It's like Avatar.
I guess I just don't see any new people being added. I can't see it. But I do see there being more like a day-long nether region punishment type of thing where you can only communicate from the nether or something along those lines, however they want to form that. Hopefully it won't be a week-long thing, but
it is a week-long thing. Oh my God.
Yeah, but I do think it's going to be more like Sam and BB20 where they'll kind of keep them separated for a very extended period of time, but not the whole week.
I'm another region. I'm a butt.
They speak in like echoey ghost voices over the speakers in the house. That's the only way they can talk to people.
Or they have like something that's like, it's something that's one light's red and one light's green, and like green means yes and red means no, and they just communicate like that.
That could work too. It's like a Ouija board.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if CBS is bold enough to put a Ouija board in the house, but that would be really interesting.
They did that haunted house last year with the house guest. I think it was like haunted where it was at Final Six, I think. Monty won it, I believe.
Yeah, I vaguely remember the latter half of last season.
Yeah, but yeah, it's these cryptic things, man, and it's also suspicious because I feel like we didn't get any clip of him actually in the Nether region.
No, but we did get him glitching out of the Nether region, which I was about to show you because you hadn't seen that either. But it also related to Eli's comment in the chat, which is it could be whoever is sleeping in the bed that he came out of just disappears in the night. That would be hilarious. It completely unlucky. I don't know who's in that bed right now. It's not Corey, but I'll show you him coming back from the Nether, which was quite a sight to see.
I am 63 years old. I have a husband who...
Scary. Just slowly working backwards with Corey's scenes, I guess. But yeah, that was an interesting way to glitch back into the house. I like how they all immediately knew it was Corey too, without seeing him actually.
What if someone else came out like
Yeah,
Zach?
so embarrassing. What if it wasn't Corey in the house?
They're like, Corey not in the house. Corey is not in the house.
Yeah, my favorite sequel show.
But
yeah, Corey's the kind of guy who's either in the house or not in the house. There's no in between.
yeah, I don't know. This is one of those things. Also, I don't understand the orbs. I guess I thought we were gonna get throwback like competitions or something like that, and we did not. It's a sad day.
Well, it's a long season, Zach. There's plenty of time to throw back. I know you want to.
I want the caramel competition.
I would love a Kathy hosted caramel competition. That would make my day. Probably the entire. If you told me at some point that Kathy was going to make an appearance in the caramel, I would be glued to the TV for 100 days straight, waiting for that moment.
Kathy from Texarkana.
Yeah, the S stands for sheriff. That's exactly what Roxy would say if she were here right now. I know it for a fact. But yeah, I feel like there's so many big points and things that I want to talk about, but there's also so many things going on that I have a hard time keeping it all in my head. What exactly is happening on a minute by minute basis, because it's always changing. Since the hour and 46 minutes that we have done this podcast, I guarantee you 8 good storylines have popped up on the feeds that I hate that I'm missing, but also I like being here too.
Oh yeah, I remember the first night they were already showmancing someone. I think me, Cole, and Matt.
Riley and Matt, I think, was more of the theory for people.
Yeah, Riley. And Matt,
yeah. Mikkel is married. I don't think anyone went too far. But yeah, Riley and Matt, I think, got some rumors, and that I can't remember who started that rumor, but it did get up to Riley, and she was just like, "How? Like, I don't feel that way about Matt. What are you talking about?"
We all know you love Showmance's Barrett.
They're my favorite. I watched Big Brother, 1 for the potential Kathy cameo in the caramel, and 2 for the showmances. It's the only reason I'm here. The fact that I've talked this long and have not brought up how much I love showmances is kind of a sin. But with that being said, do you see any potential showmances forming out of this cast now that you've watched them, or do you? Because I really don't.
No,
I don't see anyone truly clicking. No one likes Luke. Luke is one of the people in his intro that said pretty much that he would be in a showmance, even though it wasn't strategically right. I think Matt's the most likely guy to be in a showmance at this point.
Yeah.
I could see Cameron being smitten with Riley as well, but that's just me speculating. That's based on nothing.
I could see Corey like being that awkward, nerdy kid that some girl really likes, and they plug it in for like some type of like cute clip. Like, I've just always found Corey to be really cute and nerdy and fun. I love my nerdy guys.
I love my silly nerdy boy. Yeah, that sounds like it'll happen.
Who knows? Maybe when we get out of the house or get to pre-juries, who knows what could happen?
It's like Joseph with his goodbye message to Amira last year, where he just like was like, maybe we'll go on a date sometime, and we're like, where did that come from? And that may not been what he said, but that's how I remember him saying it. It was just so out of left field, the way that he openly flirted with Amira at the end of his goodbye message. But yeah, I don't see anything blossoming, which is, it's really for the better. I don't want any duos that aren't people scheming. So I like where everyone's at right now, position wise in the house, and also just like socially. So I don't want a showmance to ruin that. And I don't think as of right now that's gonna happen. We'll see 2 days from now though, if anything might develop. So no showmances, no fights yet. We'll see. Do you think there's gonna be a fight this year?
There better be.
Do you think do you think at some point there's going to be two people yelling at each other? If you had to put money on it right now, $10.
When's the last time we've had a fight? A Taco Tuesday?
So last year we had not a fight, but it was Daniel yelling at Taylor almost.
Yeah.
23 we didn't have a fight.
I mean, we had Kyland and...
Yeah, that was good enough to be a fight, I guess. That
Yeah.
was nearly a fight. 21 Taco Tuesday, 22 we had Davon and Christmas. 20 plenty of fights to talk about in 20.
19 plenty.
19 also plenty. 18 trying to think early on in 18 if there was one. I don't remember there being one. There was the whole Frank and Davon drama. Davon yelled at Frank at one point. But other
Paul
than
and
that,
Nicole.
yeah, I guess. Heisem is gonna fight someone if they bring Corey into the alliance. Yeah, I can see that too. Yeah, the fact that this cast is already so iffy about each other and sides were formed so quickly, and there's so many people scheming, whether good or bad scheming, they're still scheming. I think all of that's going to have to come to a head at some point. I know we had the whole group hug with Kirsten, the fakest group hug ever if you're talking to Zach, which it was fake as hell. But I and between that and Riley's whole, I want to start off this game with honesty and integrity. I feel like that's just the makings for someone to fight eventually, right?
Yeah.
We're trying to go so far one way that we're going to go the other.
Then I could see Izzy.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Who knows? Getting in a fight with Riley?
Maybe. I could see Cameron getting into a fight with someone. I could see Suri getting into a fight with someone.
Yeah.
I don't see.
I could see Felicia.
Felicia, yeah. Oh, Felicia's I swear, Felicia's like one day away from getting in a fight with someone. She's so over some people.
She is this generation's Rennie.
Yeah. There's no filter on Felicia, everyone. So I think if anyone is going to, she'll at least be in the mix, I think, of an argument. Maybe
it's inappropriate.
It's inappropriate, yeah. One of those will be dropped. Mimi's not going to get into a fight. America's not going to get into a fight. Luke, I don't know why he would get into a fight. Matt is not going to get into a fight. Yeah, I don't see Riley doing it. Unless that would be the perfect irony. Just honesty and integrity cut to her having it being in a screaming match with like Heisem, like Amanda style in BB15. She's at the top of the stairs. Cameron would, yeah, okay. So we got 2 votes for Cameron being in a fight. Who would Cameron fight with is really the question. Maybe Izzy. I could see a Cameron-Izzy fight. That's my prediction. Cameron and Izzy are going to go at it.
Cameron and Blue.
Blue? Yeah. Okay, so you're thinking like in the alliance fight could happen.
Taco Tuesday,
Interesting.
man.
Yeah, true. Oh my God. Yeah, Taco Tuesday. What a time. What a time in life before everything got too complicated, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Cameron and Izzy, I'll stick with that. Any other duos that you're predicting for your fight?
Not really. I mean, this cast isn't boring by any means, but there's a lot going on, like you said. There's so much to keep track of, and a lot of like things have already happened that honestly, the divide, unless the other side, I mean, it all depends on next week who gets HOH, and because we already know who's going to go home, I think, unless there's.
It's just
Never
Sunday.
mind.
Things could
Yeah.
change, but I mean, the only change that would happen is Felicia goes home, which no one's going to do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, this week's pretty much wrapped up, which is crazy. And according to Riley, she's already thinking 3 weeks ahead. So I guess we're already into the first month of Big Brother, according to Riley, if everything's going to go as planned.
Yeah. Well, Cerie's thinking 8 weeks ahead.
That's right. God. Let me see. Let me do a quick glance over, make sure we're not missing anything crazy, at least from tonight's episode. Yeah, we showed all the Corey stuff. I made a little note that Red delivered all of his children, which he did, which is crazy. But also weirdly ties into him balancing the baby on his hand in the first episode in his intro. So I thought that was kind of cool. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, nothing about this episode that we really didn't hit. And as far as just where everyone is in this house, I don't think we have really overlooked a great amount. I mean, obviously we can't cover everything that has happened on these live feeds. That would be impossible, and we would be here for probably 5 podcasts combined if we were going to do all of that. So we will not be doing all of that, in case anyone was worried. But Zach, I'm trying to think of another question to ask you that we can do before we really wrap this entire thing up. In terms of first weeks, no, I'm not even going to say that. Who are you most impressed by based on how you thought they were going to be before going to the house? And who are you least impressed by? Which I think least impressed by will probably have similar answers. But who would you say you're the most impressed by when you look at how you thought they were going to perform in the house versus how they are now that they're, we're 5 days in or 4 days in?
I am the most impressed by, and this is only because I had such low expectations of them, is Red. I thought he was just going to be, I mean, don't get me wrong, like, he's not Dan Giesling or anything by any means level strategy, but he's not doing a lot, but he's not doing nothing, which is good, because he's gotten into a place where he can get some work done and also be able to set himself up well. So he was the one I was most impressed by, kind of the most improved, I guess, for me. And then the one that I am most disappointed by is what you said.
Yeah.
The most disappointed I'm probably am is Kirsten.
Yeah, that's an easy answer.
Yeah, I mean, Kirsten, it would probably be a tie between Kirsten and America, but it's not disappointing with America because I feel like she's intentionally trying not to do anything, which is good. Versus Kirsten, I thought that she would have more of a hold in the game and more strategy to her, but she's just doing the wrong type of strategy.
Yeah, it was just a lot of, I'm gonna throw things at the wall and see what sticks, which is not a good thing to do the first week of the game. Yeah, and also doing all of that after being a nominee. I think that's really what set it apart. It's like she starts an alliance after becoming the nominee, which I get, unprecedented in Big Brother to enter the house as a nominee, but it's just doing too much too fast, especially when you don't know if you're I get that they didn't know exactly that there was only going to be 2 nominees still, but you got to wait a little bit longer, I think. Just get to know the house guests. You don't have to sit there and make sure you got votes already. It's a marathon. It's a marathon of a game, which I understand. It is totally disappointing because I think Kirsten, if she was able to do it over again, would be a far better player and probably the player you and I expected her to be. But now we're getting an unfortunate circumstance where she thought she had to play too hard too fast, and now it's really biting her. Yeah, great pick. Most impressed for me would be, I'm not going to say Jagger Blue because I really thought that they were going to be good coming into it. I'm not impressed at all with Izzy. I underestimated how in your face she was going to be.
Yeah.
For this entire game. I might say Heisem is who I'm most impressed with. And I know he was also my winner pick, but he also has surprised me the most out of anybody. I think especially after him being so concerned that people are talking game, I think he has only talked game since then, which I thought has been really cool. And he's seen the inner workings of the handful side of things. I mean, of course, after talking to Suri and Felicia, all of them coordinating, it also helps that that happened. But also, he's proving himself in comps. He's confident in himself when he's talking game now. I think it's really cool. He's even unfiltered a lot of the times, which I find fascinating. So I would say Heisem. Eli says they're most impressed with Bowie. That's interesting. I didn't actually expect her to talk game and set herself up in any structure. Yeah, okay. I can see that. That's not a bad pick either. Like we said, Bowie's not doing anything spectacular to the point where we'll talk about it as a headline on this podcast, but she's also not doing anything terrible, which is also a great thing to have in the first week of the game, which is where America sits as well.
I honestly could see her winning next week.
And yeah, why not? But I still have to pick a most impressed, which is so difficult for me right now, actually. Which I already picked Heisem, I know. I feel like I need a backup because I already put Heisem as the winner pick. But no, I'll stick with Heisem for all of my answers, apparently. And then least impressed. God. Unfortunately, I think I could pick a couple of people. Izzy, very much not impressed with her, which that's been the whole podcast. So I feel like I need to spread the hate a little bit. Not hate, just disappointment. I guess I'm disappointed with Riley, which may be a hot take. I liked her personality before she won HOH, and still like her personality, but I don't like how she's using the power, and I don't know. I just don't like the way she talks about the game. I think it's not something that I can root for. Like, she's not a very rootable person where I thought she was gonna be.
Yeah.
In the way that she talks about wanting to play the game. It's like, no, I do want people that are cutthroat. And I thought maybe for a second, like, maybe she's just blowing smoke to these people, which would be great. That would totally change my opinion. If she's talking about integrity and honesty, and then in the DR, she's like, I don't actually care about any of this, but I will tell people that I care about this, especially when, Sari comes up here and Felicia, who I've left up on the block. Of course, I'm going to spill all of that. But she didn't. She doubled down on it in all of her DRs, and truly that's how she wants to play. I thought that was super disappointing. That's not how I want to watch Big Brother. So I had to put Riley as most disappointed, unfortunately. Sorry. All right. Zach, anything else that you want to talk about that is Big Brother 25 related?
I don't think so. It's not a boring week, but it's just there's a lot going on.
That's why we did this podcast today. It's just kind of put everything together as best as we could. That way, when Thursday comes around, it's not going to be like we haven't talked about any of this yet, but now we have to play catch up on everything with 2 other episodes to talk about. So I'm glad we did this. This is very therapeutic for my jumbled brain in the live feeds. And hope everyone else can rest a little bit easier knowing a little bit more information. Again, what we told you is probably like 10% of what's actually happening. It's like the unexplored part of the ocean with the first week of Big Brother. It's like we can only give you like the tip of the iceberg, but under it, it's like who knows? Who knows what's truly going on in there? Okay. HOH prediction for Thursday. Who's getting it?
Bowie.
Bowie's getting it? Okay.
Yeah. What about you?
I think. Ooh. I am thinking that Corey is going to win. He's going to go from the nether to the HOH room.
Okay.
I don't know what the comp's going to be, but I think Corey's got it.
It's probably going to be trivia or something.
I don't know. Someone's got to get last place, though, if they're going to go to the nether. That's the thing.
First one out.
Or first one out, yeah.
Oh, unless there's multiple out, I guess. But
yeah. We also have to think they're going to adapt any of the competitions to Matt, too. So there are certain competitions that they can't do. So I had to think about that as well. What kind of competition they might throw out this week. But yeah, those are our predictions. We got a lot of predictions in this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember any of them already, but we'll go back and look at them at a later date and be like, why did we say that? Which is the most fun. All right, I'm going to start playing Islands at the Stream, if that's okay with you, Zach.
That's fine.
Okay. We went over the 2-hour mark. I didn't know if you were actually going to get to it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for being here with us tonight. Sunday podcasts will not be the norm for this season, but I thought this would be a good way to kind of catch up on things before the eviction on Thursday, which we will have a podcast for. So come join us on Thursday, about 30 minutes after the live eviction, where hopefully we'll have an HOH crowned and we'll be able to theorize even more. But until then, if you want to follow either of us on Twitter, I am at Spicy Barrett. Zach is at the Zach Perez. You can also subscribe to the channel. You can like this video. You can leave a comment about how much you actually aren't disappointed with Riley, and I'm wrong. Or you can go leave a comment on my Big Brother 23 video talking about how this is the best season ever or this is the worst season ever. That comment section on that video is one of the most alarming things I've ever seen. If you ever want to go take a look, it makes me worry for the people that watch this show sometimes, seeing the opinions about that season on there. That was a side note. I really wanted to get that off my chest. But we'll see you on Thursday, where we'll talk more BB25. And again, chat, thank you so much for being here. You're always wonderful. You keep me in line. And you also add things that I forget, which is all I can ever ask for. And yeah, Zach, I believe you have something you want to say.
Airplanes are jellyfish of the sea.
I didn't know that's what you were going to say, but I do like it. What's the other thing you wanted to say?
Oh. Perception is reality. Our reality.
Okay. Bye, everyone. I like your hat.
Appreciate it.
All right.